Welcome back, Mech Warriors. I'm Luscious Balzac from FJRD, bringing you some more Tournament of Stars Season 3 action here. I'm joined today by 07th Zane. Say what's up.
What's up? I'm Zane of 2D20, specifically of Clan Saber Goose.
Nice. Alrighty. So yeah, we're going into week 3 of Tournament of Stars. For those of you who might have missed the first 2 weeks and don't know what Tournament of Stars is, it's a 5v5 tournament, clan only mechs, single point conquest for the 5v5 matches. This very first drop is split up into 3 smaller drops, a 1v1 with trial mechs followed by 2 2v2s. Yeah.
This week, the trial mech is the Mad Cat. I forget exactly which variant, but it's the one with the LBX-40 and the SERMs. So very brawly, very fragile. It's gonna be a very bloody launch. And yeah, the other big news this week is that due to how the legend rules for this tournament have worked out, the Stone Rhino Action, the legendary that has the mask and all the ballistic hard points and the no screen shake, that is now legal. With the exception of the duels, pilots can bring a single legendary mech, and you have a single use of each legendary mech. So we may see some of that big boy stomping around.
Yes, I hope to see some Axums on the battlefield today. But yeah, thanks for covering that, Zane. Looks like both teams are ready, so I don't want to keep them waiting any longer. So I think we should just count down and get to it. What do you think?
5.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Oh, I thought we were going for 5.
I did. You said 5. I waited 4.
I was waiting for you to say 4. Anyway, the upside of this map, your mech techs don't have to walk all that far to drag your shattered husk of a battle mech back into the mech bay.
That's
they got the cranes and stuff all there.
That is true. I'm gonna go over to the blue side just because I like following the blue team. Over here, fighting for the blue side, we have Iron Wolf Pack 64 in that Mad Cat Mark II -2.
Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
And similarly, we have Pooty Tangosaur for the Jarl in the same mech.
Looks like both teams going to their respective north side. Looks like Iron Wolf Pack's going to be getting up onto the center ramp here, while Pooty Tangosaur is using his cover, trying to push forward. Iron Wolf Pack taking the far outside ramp that has that little sliver window, and he's going to get up onto the top platform here. Looks like Iron Wolfpack has spotted Pooty Tangosaur.
A little bit of scratch on both sides.
Ooh, that looked like a really good hit on Iron's legs. Both players now engaging within the brawl. Iron Wolfpack's left leg is open, gets destroyed. Pooty Tangosaur's left side torso is open. Iron Wolfpack trying to shield that leg, cannot. Down goes Iron. Very well fought.
There's been a lot of internal debate at 2D20 for the 1v1s if it's better to go legs or to go torsos.
I feel like if you can get close enough like that where your spread is kind of essentially mitigated by the range, go for the legs. There's less armor, less structure to chew through than the torsos. Now, unless you're comparing both legs to the CT, in which case if you can land every shot on the CT, Get the CT.
I think maybe not so much for the assaults, but we saw this quite a bit on the Hunchback duel from week 1, if you remember. There's a certain argument for prioritizing the torso because you can get rid of quite a bit of your opponent's TPS capability.
Yep.
And especially in those sort of longer range trading mechs, yeah, you want to focus off one of the torsos, have him lose half his heat cap and half his lasers.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now, here's the question. Did Pooty Tangosaur invite the next combatants for Helgrim before leaving?
I sure hope so.
I hope so too.
Or Oogway and Alpha Strike are going to have a very awkward sort of handshake.
Alrighty, looks like he did not. So,
Quick, get the Jarl back in here.
yep.
So, fun fact, if you hear about the so-called Jarl's list that a lot of comp uses for sort of ranking and tracking players' stats, this is the Jarl whose list we use.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. And if you're ever curious about wanting to do a deep dive on your own mech stats, very much you can just like plug your own name into the Jarl's list site and get surprisingly detailed, like average damage per match, what your KDA is, all those lovely numbers.
Looks like both teams are green. We've got the lock call from Team 1. But before I forget, let's switch the sides on the scorecard.
Yeah,
And
I'm expecting to see Dakawolves, possibly Stone Rhinos as the assaults, and then I'm expecting Warthogs as the light mech.
ooh, that would be a good guess. Me personally, like, yeah, Stone Rhino, it's tanky, it's got lots of guns, so yeah, that'll more than likely be coming in. But I think I think fielding something like a Piranha might actually do some good. Ooh, okay. So over here on the blue team, we have Ormstar the Splitter in a Kodiak 3 and a Sail in an Adder Warthog. So you were right about the Warthog.
So I was wrong about the assaults on both, clearly. Oogway is in a Stone Rhino 1, and Alpha Strike is actually in the Clan Wolfhound.
Oh, interesting. All right, here come our combatants.
This is command.
Let's
Eliminate
get a
all
read on
enemies,
these mechs.
no matter
All
the
right.
cost.
Warthog with 14 AP Gauss, 1 ER large, Kodiak 3, 4 AC 10, 3 plasma cannon.
The Stone Rhino is also 4 AC-10, 3 plasma cannon, and let's see what's on this Wolfhound.
At least a large laser.
ER mediums and larges.
Looks like Ormstar getting some shots off on Alpha Strike.
Mm-hmm. Those Clan Heavy Larges, short enough range long enough range to cover most of this map, and very high damage, but very high heat, if I remember correctly.
Ooh, Ormstar already at 72%, CT open, right torso open, right torso gone.
I know we at Saber Use have messed around with that particular Kodiak build. It's very brawly, but very hot.
Oh yes.
25%
And
of the
down goes
enemies are
Ormstar.
eliminated. We're taking critical losses. We need you to pull through. Come in. Control the surface.
And
Can
down goes
anyone read?
a Sail in the Adder Warthog. Now, I have no idea why my frames are dropping like they are.
And if you turn your back on a Stone Rhino, that's what happens.
Yep. Mech Warrior just eating up my processing power right now, which it should be doing.
FJRD so far with a fairly commanding lead in the
2v2.
in the duels so far.
Well, you gotta remember, Eisen did win the 1v1.
Mhm.
Or Helgrim, I should say.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's get the map swap going. Where are we off to? We're off to Liao Jungle.
This is a tricky one for me. Like, I could see the Nightjares making a fairly triumphant return. Because Liao Jungle is one of the bigger sort of Solaris maps.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, though, there's excellent cover to most of the approaches.
Now, you know the side that has that big pillar rock?
Mhm.
Is that Team 2 side?
Let me check a map.
Pretty sure it is Team 2 side. But do you think that big spire rock is beneficial?
I think it's a bit of a more of a curse than it is a blessing. Because I think if you're trying to do ranged, if you're trying to do brawl, you have to push past it. You don't get any benefit from it. If you're trying to do ranged, it's going to give your opponent more benefit than it's going to give you. I think.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Okay.
See, this is why I wish I could do the Yeti like yodel on command.
Oh, like this? Uh... Yeah,
Despite my body hair percentage, I am not in fact a Wookiee.
Oh, why not?
Well, you heard my victory screech.
Whee!
Also, I don't have Harrison Ford cracking wise beside me, but I feel like that's the key thing to being a Wookiee.
I don't know. There's a lot of ravers out there that will say there's a little bit more to being a Wookiee.
So, called shot for me from Isengrim. They are in fact bringing the Nightjar Bravo, and then a Beagle 2 as their medium.
No matter the cost.
And it looks
The
like
Beagle 2 is on Proto 8s and a plasma cannon, and the Nightjar is on Proto 8s and AC cannons.
yeah, it looks like Declassified here, bringing in all. Got an Orion 2CA with LB-20 4SRM6 with Artemis, and a Beagle with LB-20 4SRM6 Artemis.
You'll have to tell me what's going on. My mech warriors decided to fall over.
Oh, your mech warriors decided to basically crash. All right, we got Sponger pushing up into Helgrim right now. Both of the declassified pilots now going underneath the arch, wrapping around the tree that Deathlord is hiding behind. Looks like both of the declassified pilots are converging on Deathlord here, but they're getting a little tangled up with each other. Sponger at 46%, almost halved. Deathlord, oh, down goes Sponger. Deathlord at 74%, Butterpora at 55%. Can we get a readout on Butterporo here? He is open CT. Val has been cooking himself. Down goes Butterporo. GG.
So I think this is the first time we've seen a large amount of the proto autocannons.
Yes. We've seen protos used here and there as like supplementary weapons, right? We saw last week a player bring a single Proto AC4, I believe it was, on an Adder Warthog, paired up with like 13 AP Goss.
Mhm.
So yeah, looks like coming out of drop one, both teams are going to be fairly even with 3 points for Declassified, 4 points for Helgrim.
I know we've experimented with the proto autocannons. I think like I ran a couple on a huntsman once. But I feel like if you're gonna do DACA, you can commit the tonnage to do the full autocannon and not bother with the proto.
Well, doesn't the Proto save weight?
Yeah. Generally speaking, like if they're slightly lower damage and lighter if you compare like a Proto 8 to an AC10. And they obviously don't match up 1-to-1, right?
Yep.
Awaiting the invite back in when you're ready.
You said you needed an invite back?
Invite back. Yep.
Alrighty, let me kick you.
So now our first map of the week is not Forest Colony Classic, that's map 2.
No, this is going to be Terra Therma Crucible.
Mm. So do you think we'll see the rumble for the sort of Crucible arena, or do you think we'll see sort of a range game on the outskirts in this 200-ton drop?
I think we're going to see range from it. You know, Theta is directly in the center. You know, it's right above the pit or the cauldron. Depends
We
on
could
what.
not get more Thunderdome than we have currently gotten with the placement on this map, yes.
Yes, but I think teams are going to avoid it because honestly, the smart play would be to avoid it.
Like, that's probably true on a macro level. I just feel like so often on these 200-ton drops, we see the teams try to skill check each other, and the mechs are fast enough that Brawl is kind of like it's very difficult to do other strategies at 200 tons across 5 mechs.
See, me personally, if I was leading a team, I would not be sending them into the center because I do not want to risk the chance of anybody falling down into the cauldron.
Mm. But like, I'm probably expecting to see the 4 Warthogs.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And then, some sort of 50-tonner or 60-tonner.
Now, what I think would be interesting to see would be something like 4 piranhas and then a 100-tonner.
Oh, for like 4 Piranhas and an Executioner or something.
Yeah.
If you were going to try to do the range game, there is an Incubus build that does like large lasers and light machine guns.
Ooh, yes. I believe those are the 5 and the 2 that
Yeah,
people
so
like
you
to
can
run.
still kind of do the brawl because you have machine guns. And the hope is that the large lasers do enough work that you open up enough components and you're able to win the fight on the sort of armor and health diff.
Yep.
And
Now,
then that would also free you up for like a rifleman or something.
yeah. Now, here's the question. Do you run heavy larges or ER larges?
So the last time I ran that particular Incubus, I had the ER larges because that was for Battle of Midway, and it was the light mech for Alpine. I think it's Alpine.
Okay.
but where it was like the strat was giga range, right?
Yep.
Whereas Terratherm Crucible, I maybe want to lean more towards the heavies. Like the map's just a little bit smaller, the range is just a little bit closer, and you don't necessarily need that uber range.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see a lot of fighting on the outside ring of Theta.
Mm-hmm. Sort of the Delta 4 to Fox 6 box.
Yeah. But yeah, score going into this match 3-4, Declassified to Isaac Grimm. Or Helgrim.
As close to even Stevens as we could get.
Yeah, actually.
Now I'm pretty sure it's in. I don't know if you can actually come out of drop one completely tied up. Like I don't think the points work out that way.
I think there is a way, but it would require one of the drops going to time.
Alright, so I'll follow the blue team.
Alrighty, I'll follow the red team since I'm already right here. Over here on the red team, we have 1, 2, 3 Mistlinks G's, an Adder Warthog, and a Highlander 2C.
Hey, look, I was right. Isengrim with 4 Warthog, Adder Warthogs, and a Mad Dog running LBX 40.
So these Mistlinks G's are sporting a mixture of, 2 of them are running AP Gauss micro pulse lasers. One of them is running the HMG's Adder Warthog with 14 heavy machine guns and a medium pulse laser. And then over here with Oogway T in the Highlander 2C, we have a Gauss rifle and 3 beam lasers.
So a bit of spice from Pooty Gangastar. Most of the Warthogs for Isengrim are 1480 Gauss. He managed to slap an ER large laser in his forehead.
Theta is controlled by the enemy.
He must be stripping armor.
Either that, or he's got very low ammo. Might have. You can't downtime the engine because it's an Omni.
Yep.
Will say though that Oogway bringing the Highlander 2C does strike that mech off my bucket list of mechs to see in comp.
Highlander 2C?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a pilot on one of the other FJRD teams that just absolutely loves Highlanders, and he's looking for every opportunity to bring them. Already looks like Iron Wolfpack here getting a little nicked here by that large laser from Pooty.
Yeah. Oh, looks like Deathlord brought that as well.
Oogway has a strikeout on him, but he doesn't seem the least bit phased. He's getting beam lasers out. Looks like Pooty Tangosaur pushing up through the center.
Yeah, Wolfpack's taking a lot of leg damage. But all those lasers are just going straight to Oogway and that Highlander.
Yep. Val almost legged. Left leg gone. Down goes Val in that Mad Dog.
That is a lot of tonnage and a lot of finishing gone from Isengrim.
Oogway in that Highlander 2C kind of looks like he's got Isengrim a little locked down.
He's got the 2 adders locked up, and I would hazard a guess he's winning the trades.
But yeah, that's what, 18 damage per second from 3 beam lasers, right?
Yeah. Like 3 beam lasers is going to outtrade 2 large lasers.
Oh yeah.
Even like Esso and Pooty Gangasar are taking a lot of fire from the Mistlinks in the center here.
Ooh, Pooty Tangosaur loses his left leg. Right leg cherry. Down goes
And
Pooty Tangosaur.
Castle's CT and right leg are not looking good either.
Oh no, not at all. Now I want to say Declassified's doing a very good job of sharing armor here, rotating out mechs.
Mm-hmm. You notice that like Uguay has dropped down and rolled up to join the team.
Deathlord still really fresh, 92%. Uguay now tanking all the shots for Declassified. Down goes Assail. Ooh, Uguay gets taken out.
Deathlord appears to be the call target.
Iron Wolfpack now pushing in, taking shots from Deathlord. But it looks like Sponger and Iron are trying to focus on Ormstar, while Alpha Strike focuses on trying to get back shots on Deathlord. Down goes Ormstar. All that remains for Helgrim here is Deathlord.
Yeah. On the downside of the Warhawk, they're very high DPS, but very fragile.
Yep. Looks like Iron Wolfpack almost completely taken out. Now, from the readout, it says that he's missing his left torso, but we can still see it clear as day.
The 1% of his HP remaining in that component.
The less than 1%.
No, you really have to admire the way Iron Wolf played that. It takes a lot to sell that much of a light mech.
Oh yeah. Just want to see how much damage Uguay did. 521, not bad. Smart move, sending a mech up high to just kind of try and lock out a couple of mechs.
Well, I have to imagine he's either at or within the effective range of the beam lasers there. And sure, he, in theory, like he was getting traded against by the ER larges, but he basically had that entire crow's nest to himself.
Yeah. Now, me, I've not played up in that position before, so I do not know what the sight lines look like, but it looked like he wasn't getting any shots on the mechs in the center. But
I mean, we can check it when we load back in for drop 3, but I believe the sort of dragon's teeth rock formations around the central cauldron block out the shots. So you can hit mechs like going around, and you can see he's sort of firing through a hallway near the ramps. But once you actually get down into the caldera, you're safe.
Yep.
And then, of course, if you throw yourself in the lava, you're also safe.
And there's a lock call from Team 1.
Yeah. Alpha Charlie, drop, that was what I'm looking for. Dropship and Lance assignments aren't huge on this map. They're more of a thing on the Team 2 side, where the Alpha is fairly far away from the Bravo Charlie spawns.
Well, what's the drop zone that is kind of basically route blocked from getting to the center by, I think it is Sigma?
So you're thinking of Team 1 side, where Alpha Lance can stroll into Gamma, and it actually covers like the entirety of the intersection of the pathways there.
Yeah.
If you're in a light mech or you have a little bit of hill climb, you can like mountain goat your way around Gamma. And then of course there's always just you could risk running through Gamma and just not capping it.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be one to risk it. No risk it, no biscuit.
in Battle for Midway, we loaded up in testing grounds and just decided to see how many mechs you could conga line through before the last mech couldn't leave before capturing the point. And it's only like 3 mechs. And that's assuming nobody has cap accelerator or anything like that.
Alrighty, both teams are locked, so I'm gonna punch it. Alrighty, I'll cover the red team once again. Team 2, just because it's right where we load in. I'll make you go traveling. Alrighty, just waiting on the players to load into this drop. Here we go. Over here on the red team, that's Team 2, that's Helgrim. We have 4 Vipers and a Stone Rhino 6.
FJRD with a slightly more mixed bag. They've got 2 Vipers, 2 Mad Dogs, and a Timberwolf Howl.
Ooh, okay. Viper Fs are sporting HMGs, and guess what? HMGs.
So
all
the
with
Vipers
red
from
lasers.
FJRD running the same build, 5 micro and HMGs, although one of them went for a flamer.
Ooh.
The Howl is running CERM 6s and 2 LBX 20. And the Mad Dogs are the same LBX 40 build that we saw last drop.
Is ours.
Alrighty, so I have sights from where Oogway was sitting last drop. And yeah, it looks like those jagged rock formations do block sight of the center.
Yeah. I still think it's an excellent Overwatch position for most of the map.
At least for the left side.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I guess you could watch to see if they push around the right side. But you do not have any sight through the center.
No. And FJRD just taking very defensive positions, kind of just waiting for Isengrim to come flip the cap. They've baited the honeypot. They just need Pooh Bear to stick his hand in there.
Oh, I didn't let you know, but this Stone Rhino, 7 ER meads, 4 large pulse. Looks like Pooty's Tangosaur in that Stone Rhino taking down UAVs, trying to get shots off on any mech that he sees crossing any gap.
Yeah, it looks like Butterparo took a lot of pulse laser fire there.
Ooh. Looks like Val's gonna try to step on the cap and bait a reaction from Declassified. Here we go. Here's the reaction that they wanted. Pooty Tangosaur getting shots off on Oogway, Iron Wolfpack. Just everyone.
But Alpha Strike with a bit of a hero play to get everybody turned around. He's gonna just yeet himself into the center there and cover his team's push.
Ooh, Butterporo getting beat up. Wow, down goes Pooty Tangosaur very quick. Alpha Strike goes down. It's a 4v4. It's madness right now.
Yeah, the Vipers from FJRD just ripped his legs off.
Butterporo and Val go down almost simultaneously. Ooh, Oogway goes down. Down goes Ormstar. It's now back to a 2v2. Assail at 40%. Never mind, he's dead. And gets dropped into the pit.
He was going there anyway, but Iron Wolfpack decided to speed things up with those LBX 40s. Death Lord, very fresh.
Oh, my game literally just crashed.
Okay, so Deathlord is very fresh, and they're chasing around the south side of the arena, but Sleipnir is cutting him off through the center. I don't think the FJRD mechs are open enough that he can win this, but he's dueling it out with Sleipnir, and Iron Wolfpack picks him up with the LBX-40 dead center of the map.
Would you mind grabbing that?
Of course.
Yes, thank you. And what's the score?
So the score was 5-3 for FJRD. Particular color, Deathlord getting 439 damage out of that Viper, and Iron Wolfpack getting 372 out of that Mad Dog. LBX 40 will do that, especially on the light drops.
Alrighty, I am getting back in right about.
The big thing is going to see who inherited the lobby.
I don't think it'll transfer to anybody just yet. Come on, game. Alrighty, we're off to Forest Colony Classic, right?
Forest Colony Classic. Oh, fight!
I wonder if
I don't
there
know
would
if
be
we're gonna do it.
I wonder if there's gonna be a fight in the tunnel.
Tunnel fight would be interesting.
Be dark.
Be dark, be hard to cast.
Yes.
You have to get some good angles. Remember that we can also turn on night vision mode.
Oh man, no, it's all about the heat vision in there. Unless people are bringing stealth mechs.
Personally, I think we're going to see a lot of boat fights.
Yep.
We may see Team 2 side, you can set up along sort of Charlie 2, Charlie 3. There's a ridgeline that overlooks Kappa that's really nice. Similarly in Delta 4, sort of Delta 4 on the Team 1 side.
Yeah. What team is it that spawns on the up on the higher ground? That Team 1?
Team 2 side.
Team 2.
Yeah, Team 2 has the high ground.
Yeah. Team 2 just right off the bat gets a power position on this map.
The real question is, are any clan mechs short enough to be submarines?
Ooh, that's a good question. No, the Warthog is too tall. The Piranha
might be short enough?
Maybe.
That's oddly thematically appropriate.
It would be. A lot more appropriate than the Flea.
Or the Locust. Although the Pirate's Bane kind of fits.
Okay. I can. No, the Pirate's Bane. I don't know. If you consider the Pirate's Bane kind of like a kraken, and it's coming up and it's eating ships from below, then yeah, it's the Pirate's Bane.
I was just assuming like a pirate hunter.
See, if it's a pirate hunter, I would assume that it's large enough to be above the water. You know?
For those of you that don't know, parts of the water on this map are deep enough that certain light mechs are actually completely submerged and not just up to their knees. The real question is, when is PGI going to give me torpedoes?
You already have that.
It's called machine gun to my Crusader's knees, damn it.
SRMs, Lerms, they all go through the water. Come on, man.
No, so in the tabletop game, you can get I think they're called like Trident missiles, but they're specifically like torpedoes.
Oh,
Yeah,
underwater combat. That would actually make an interesting map. An underwater map.
like the you like movement speed is cut down. You drop really slowly.
Yeah, but you also get increased cooling, right?
Now I know that MechWarrior Online will actually correctly model if you have heat sinks in your legs and you're standing in water, it'll model the extra heat dissipation. I don't know if it does for your torso sinks if you're a light mech that's swimming.
Not for the torso heat sinks, only legs.
Well, PGI can't have thought of everything, I guess.
Now, what would have been cool is if standing in a waterfall increased your heat dissipation.
For active cooling systems.
Yeah. Like let's say you have a really hot laser vomit build in your position next to a waterfall. You're like, yeah, I can fire off my alpha twice and then stand in this waterfall for 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and be cooled.
Yeah, I also don't want to push the Black Knight that decides to do that and then just starts rack firing light PPCs.
Fair. Or the Annihilator with the 7 snubs.
Yeah, or God forbid the Supernova that's running the single heat sinks.
Oh, jeez. The supernova that's actually going supernova.
Yeah, it'd be up there with adding like your mech actually blowing up when you die.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Like if you died from a critical hit to the CT, your mech blows up because the fusion engine gets.
The reactor goes nuclear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting on the teams to ready up here. Worth noting, we're not refs. We can't scold them for taking too long.
Nope. Score currently 15 points for FJRD Declassified, 8 points for Isengrim Helgrim.
Still, anybody's match at this point.
Alrighty, Team 1 is locked. And it looks like they're going to go for an Alpha Charlie split, 2-3.
So on this map, it's not, especially Team 1 side, it's not hugely relevant. Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie are all like within 200-300 meters of each other. On Team 2, it can matter a little bit more. Alpha and Charlie are on one side of Gamma and Bravo's on the other.
Ah.
And it looks like Team 2 did go for a Alpha Bravo split.
Alrighty, getting into the drop now. This is drop 4. Alrighty, I'm going to stay over here on Team 1 side. Looks like we have an Executioner Prime piloted by Pooty Tangosaur with 3 ER peeps, 13 micros. Deathlord in an Executioner Chirby with 3 ER peeps, 13 micro. And Ormstar in a Executioner Prime, 3 ER peeps, micros. We got Assail in an Ice Ferret C with a bunch of red lasers, and Val in an Ice Ferret D with a bunch of red lasers and 2 AP Goss.
So FJRD is running a wolf pack in the form of Alpha Strike and Butterparo in the Ice Ferret Juliets. And then for range support, they have Iron Wolf pack in the Executioner who's running ERPPCs and backup weapons in the form of small and micro pulse. They've got Oogway in a Marauder with 2 Gauss and 3 ER larges. And finally, Salvager in the Stone Rhino 1, running 4 AC-10s and 3 plasma cannons.
Oh. So yeah, Val and Assail in those ice ferrets looking like they're going to be pushing tunnel here. Or at least Assail.
Yeah, whereas Deathlord in the Executioner taking much more the route I was expecting.
Pushing out into the water towards that boat. So it looks like Assail is just sitting at the entrance of the tunnel, making sure that nobody's going to be pushing through it.
It could be that they have seismic sensors.
Ooh, never
And
mind.
that they're, on top of potentially getting the rear push now, we're just there to make sure that they weren't going to get Oonga Boonga, so to speak.
Yep, never mind. Assail and Val pushed through the tunnel, but they got spotted by Butterporo, who decided to turn around and take a look inside of the tunnel at the right moment.
Calls over Iron Wolfpack. So it's 2 Ice Ferrets versus 2 Ice Ferrets and an Exy.
Ooh, looks like Assail's been legged. Am I seeing that correctly?
Yes,
Yep.
Assail's been like Butterporo, rather beat up, but still functional.
Down goes Assail, Val making his way back towards safety.
Meanwhile, the heavy tonnage from Isengrim has just been trading with Soltner and Oogway, and looks like they've done a little bit of scratch damage to Oogway. He's sitting at 84% to 90s on the rest of Isengrim's side.
Oogway has lost his right arm. Now, looks like Val and Alpha Strike here playing peekaboo with each other. I think Val is trying to bait Alpha Strike out into, some sort of zone where his friendly executioners can probably provide a little bit of cover fire. Iron Wolfpack now leading a push with Alpha Strike to go and get Val here.
Yeah.
Now I'm also keeping an eye on Pooty Tangosaur and Butterporo. Because Butterporo's low.
Has baited Iron Wolfpack into Ornstar's sights, and he gets picked up. But he gets legged for the privilege.
Let's see if we can get a readout on Pooty here. Down goes Val.
And Pooty gets taken out by Sponger.
Sponger.
But Alpha Strike pushing up on Ormstar.
I'm over here watching Sponger and Deathlord now. Sponger just absolutely pushing straight into Deathlord. Ormstar coming to help out Deathlord. Deathlord goes down. All that remains for Helgrim is Ormstar in this Executioner Prime. And he's about to be getting shot from... He's about to get shot from 3 different angles here.
Yeah. Butterparo's playing the smart. He's not diving in. He's letting Alpha Strike and Spudger clean him up.
There goes his right arm. His right torso's almost taken. Left arm almost gone. Sounds like somebody put up a UAV. It was, I believe, the blue team. So Helgrim, and down goes Ormstar.
We've failed.
So that's going to be a 5-1 win for FJRD Declassified. Wow, looking at Butterporo, he was cherry CT.
Yeah. Oogway managed to squeeze 687 damage out of that Marauder.
Wow. Ooh, it was the Dreadnought.
That's a legendary we haven't seen before, I don't think.
I don't
At least not
think
one
so.
eye. What's unique about it?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Helgrim mechs, or specifically to MechDB. Um, so according to what I can see on MechDB, it's that it's got two extra consumable slots and 2 extra strike capacity
Oh,
on top of just having 2 ballistic hardpoints in the right torso and a ballistic and energy hardpoint in each arm, along with an energy hardpoint in the head and 2 in the CT.
so what I'm hearing is strikes for days.
Mhm. And we did see a good number of RD strikes coming down from the FJRD side. Could be that all of them were in fact from Uruguay.
Now, I could have sworn that I updated the score for this last drop, but I guess I didn't. Um, Score was 5-1.
So 21 points for Declassified and 9 points for Helgrim going into drop 5.
That is correct. See, now there Helgrim has no possibility of bringing it back, but they can still potentially score 15 points total from this match, kind of keeping them in the runnings.
So the thing to note is that there's there's a 20-point difference. But Helgrim and FJRD are, at least going into this match, were at the top of their divisions at 52 and 51 points. The next team is my own 2D20 Salvage Crew at 36, tied with GNX. Now, it's looking like these teams have had a bye. Because it's showing 4 games played, or no, 2 games played, just 2 wins. Oh, this division doesn't have a bye. Okay, so they're just kind of dominating. But if Salvage Crew or GNX do very, very well in their matches against Raptor Talons or Clan Extra Fleet, we could still see movement in this division.
That's always exciting, knowing that there's a fight for the top 3.
But yeah, as it stands, we have a 52 to 36. So like 14-point gap between 1 and 3. But then there's a tie for third, and Raptor Talons is only 10 points behind the tie for third. So it's still a very tight league here in Div D.
Yeah, looks like Declassified's gonna take it away this week and pull ahead of the pack, almost securing their first place placement. Am I wrong for assuming that?
So there is, I believe, still a possibility for Salvage Crew or GNX to challenge them for first. It involves one of those 2 teams basically clean acing for the next 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
But if they do that and FJRD Declassified craters in round 5, we could see either GNX or Salvage Crew sneak up the rankings.
Nice. So there is potential for a lot of movement.
Notably, for the sake of narrative, I would point out that FJRD is actually playing GNX in round 5.
Ooh.
So on top of GNX needing to clean sweep them, they need FJRD to get clean swept.
I guess that'll be a match to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, over here on team 1 side, that's blue team, that's Declassified. We have Butterporo and a Shadowcat Meshpeshu with 6 AP Gauss, 3 Plasma Cannons, Iron Wolf, and an Executioner A with ER Meads, Large Pulses, Red Lasers. And then we have 3 Stone Rhinos, one of which is the Axum. 2 of them are Stone Rhino 1s. In the 1s, we have 4 AC-10s, 3 plasma cannons, and in the Axum we have
Capture and hold the resource
5
points.
Ultra
Stop any
2s
hostiles that get in
and
your way.
3 Ultra 5s.
So we have a very, very DACA deck coming out of Isengrim. We have a pair of Ultraviolets boating AC2s. We have an Axum boating the Ultra 2s and a Stone Rhino 1, which is running AC-10s and 2 ER PPCs. And then for the Scout Mech, we have Aesel in the Ice Ferret Charlie. They are running 5 Small Pulse and 7 ER Micros.
Wow, okay. Red lasers for days. Now, it looks like Declassified making a push up through Sigma, kind of just ignoring Waterside.
Meanwhile, Isengrim has taken the island and is, you can see Hoodie Kangaskar starting to push up in that action.
Iron Wolfpack at the head of the pack.
Butter Paro's got something important opened up. You don't often see orange at 92%.
No, I'm gonna go back.
Oh,
here.
he took a headshot.
He got hit in the face.
Yeah, he got domed.
Ooh, yeah, he did. All right, looks like we have a tunnel push coming from Declassified. Now it's interesting. Does the high ground beat the islands?
See, the thing is, I think if Isengrim is set to receive the tunnel push, they've got a UAV sort of scouting it out.
Yeah, they have the UAV, but I don't think it's close enough to the tunnel to spot the mechs as they come out of the tunnel. I think it's only good to see.
It's a little far south to spot them, but well, they know it's there now if they're paying attention.
Yep.
But as the Stone Rhinos push over the hill here, they'll definitely see them.
Oh yeah, kind of hard to miss. 100 tons of guns screaming your name. Now, these Stone Rhinos have stopped their push. Never mind. Looks like they're now pushing through the little choke point ramp here.
Yeah, let's see if Aesel spots this.
And Helgrim just continuing the push out into the water. Looks like they're pushing past the boat.
Yeah, the Stone Rhinos are pushing past the boat. I think they're going to try to collapse on Butter Paro. It's going to be rough, and the Mitsubishi is a very slippery mech. But in doing so, they're just putting all that open ground between them and FJRD.
Yep. A sail sitting on the Kappa cap point, which is the viable viable cap point for this drop. Interesting that it took almost 4 minutes for somebody to decide to take the cap point.
It's a quirk of A, there only being the one cap point, and B, the importance placed on kills in this tournament scoring, that quite often the cap point is an afterthought. Because the big thing, if I'm Isengrim, I don't want to win with 5 mechs alive on the other team. I want to win with 0.
Yep.
Oh, push is starting. Lots of fire going down on Alpha Strike and Iron Wolfpack.
Iron Wolfpack just taking the lead, getting torn up for it. Let's see if we can get a readout on him. Left arm almost gone.
Everything else is pretty good. Oh, but Spudger's also taking it on the chin.
Sponger's good.
Iron Wolfpack's opened up a torso, looks like.
Yep, right
The Alpha's
torso
right
open.
mostly unscathed.
Both arms hurting for iron here. Looks like Uguay getting his little flanking position contested by Pooty Tangosaur. Both Axums trading it out right now.
Now,
Uguay.
Armstar's a little opened up.
Ooh. Down goes Uguay.
Big thing was the hero play from Butterparo diving in onto Deathlord, trying to get some of that Daka off, and it picks it up for him.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Pooty Tangosaur trying to pick up Iron Wolf, and Hassel's probably going to dive in as Sponger goes down.
Ooh, Pooty Tang self-destructs. He overheats. It's a 3v3, not looking good for Declassified. Down goes Iron. Make that a 2v3. Down goes Alpha Strike.
Butterparo's not going to be long for the world taking that much autocannon fire.
Yep. Down goes Butterporo. That's a Helgrim win. 5-2.
Very, very good rally from Isengrim. I know how hard it can be when you've been beaten in drop sort of 2, 3, 4. So to rally and put out a good match, drop 5, but they said, you know what, screw it. We have rhinos and a nice ferret.
Alrighty, looks like the final score for this match is going to be FJRD Declassified with 23 points and Isengrim Helgrim with 15.
I just want to call out Pooty Gangasaur with 850 damage out of that Stone Rhino, and then Val and Ormstar with 759 and 723 apiece in the Ultraviolets.
They did have a lot of armor to chew through with those Stone Rhinos.
So that actually does make 2D20 and GNX's path to challenging first easier as well.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, that's it for this match. Let's take a look at the Shoutcaster sheet, see if there's any other matches scheduled to be casted today.
I don't think
we
do.
Does not look like it. However, tomorrow at 1900 UTC or 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, we have a Division B matchup, which is Civil War. We have FJRD Redacted versus FJRD Rangers, and that'll be casted by us.
I'm afraid my opinion on that match is protected by the by Bill CO5, and I cannot discuss it at this time.
Okay.
And then following that up at an hour later, so I may be hot casting and jumping out at the end of the match, I will be casting the Div H match, Havagel versus Ravens Regulars at 1 p.m.
Nice.
And then we have a Div I match.
2200, baby. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Div I Psy Rystars versus 323rd. Minnesota Tribe Rangers, I believe is the full name.
Mm-hmm. Or Clan Wolverine!
Alrighty. Well, with all of that... Oh, wait, no, there's still one more match scheduled to be casted tomorrow. And that's the Division B 228 Hellraisers versus Clan Crossfire at 0100 June 23rd UTC, or rather 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, June 22nd, so tomorrow. And
then, if I'm reading this right, we also have Ralphie going to be casting the DPS Aces Wild match in Div C at 0200 UTC, which would be 7 p.m. Pacific start.
Yeah, 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Nice.
Yeah. So very, very full day of matches on Saturday.
Love to see it.
And I will be jumping into as many of those as I can. Unfortunately, I do have to rest my voice at some point.
I get that. I really do. That being said, thank you so much, Zane, for stopping by and helping me co-cast this.
Thank you, chat, for coming out, watching the games, and making this all worth it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Luscious, for main casting and inspiring me to get into this
of course.
in a good way. And thank you to Mr. Bear for coming up with this tournament in the first place, and to the MWO Comp admins for running this whole malarkey and letting us do this lovely mech fights.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out, supporting these teams, and supporting us as your favorite casters. I'm Luscious Balzac from FJRD.
And I'm Zane from 2D20.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be it. Keep it luscious.
Peace.